you can see at just the right angles that there's some crazing right up in here, and as you move through it you might be able to actually see that there's a lot more of it. I don't know if, there you go, you can kind of see it right there, all up in through this, this crystally looking area right here. There's all micro crazing right there. You can see it pretty good. So I bought these. These are fake. This one, it's the correct case and the correct lens, like this. But these were a display. This is just a cardboard backing with a photo on it, so that you can get the idea. It doesn't weigh anything. There's no plug right there on the back like there is on the real ones, like that. This one actually has a cap on it, which is interesting. But I've got a total of 4 of these. There's this one that is, a couple of them are like, well, you can see the crazing in that one pretty bad too if you get the angle just right. Let's see if we can, there you go. See that, those dark lines? And there's a lot more of them. I'm just not getting the right angle on it to see them. But they're everywhere. And those are technically little micro cracks in the plastic. So I bought these on eBay. They were a display thing, and I'm going to try to move the electronics from these crazed ones into these good ones. So I started off with the one that has the wind direction on it, and basically you have to take this little nut that's right here off of the screw on the back, which you can also see how it comes through right here, and that's right next to these 2 wire probes. And then you have to peel that front off of the back, the lens, and you can see the crazing really bad in this one, which is why I started with it. But until you do that, you cannot remove this little solar panel. I mean, you can unstick it from the case like this, that you can see I got that separated away, but these wires are still soldered on. So I will go to my soldering station right over here and desolder these, and then I've already taken apart one of the new ones, so I've already got all the plastic and acrylic apart over here in these. I didn't want to lose the pieces, and I'll put it back together. I'm also going to do this one, which will bring it to the same color, and this one, and then the 4th one that I have, the 4th working Tack Tick unit that I have. It doesn't have any crazing, but that'll at least bring this one up to the same color as the other 3, instead of being tan. But that's what I'm doing today. And this whole system cost something like $2,400, and so it'll be worth it. I think I only spent $100 on these covers. I don't remember, that might be in a previous video, and I'll have to look it up to make sure, but way cheaper than it costs to buy these cases and bezels from Raymarine, I believe is who sells them now. Anyway, there you go, and adventures continue. Lates. Alright, so I am rebuilding these Tack Ticks. This is a fake one, technically. It came out of a display case, and so basically this part of it's the same on all of them. I'm going to rebuild this one because it's got horrible crazing in here, but you got to pop that side. There's 4 of these. There's another one right there, but it seems to always come loose, and then I just kind of hit that one. The interior, the whole inside, should just pop right out. This is a fake solar panel. There's a nut which just sits right on here. After that, you have to pop each of these open to start the process here, and it's a little easier on these display models to get apart simply because they don't have a seal around the whole thing, and I'll show you what I mean here in a second when we get a regular one open. But basically these are of course waterproof. You have them out in the cockpit while you're sailing around. So, not this set, these are just for sitting at the West Marine or whatever, wherever these happen to have been. So, inside of here is a little painting of what the display looks like when it's in operation. It looks just like one of these. It's black paint on a, generally digital display backing. This back panel piece right here that I'm taking off is not really, this plastic is not right. It's not the same stuff as the ones the ones that are working are. Okay, so I'm going to get these apart, slowly prying up on them, pulling these little tabs out. As you can see, they snap pretty easy, but they're on the outside of the seal, so as long as they give you a good attachment, then it shouldn't be a big deal in the long run. There we go. And this one. There we go. So, you can see there's a little silver ring, just like there is inside of a regular one. And that could stay in there technically. This is not crazed, and that's the reason that we're replacing them. Is most of them are very crazed. They do have some scratches on them, but whoop-de-doo. So, once that's out, take your little picture, throw it away. Take this little foam thing and throw it away. Take this backing, which I don't think is any good either because it's very different than the real backing, and throw it away. Want to open your real one. This is a real working unit. This one shows you heading and speed. And so, once you pop that off, you might be able to see the crazing in here. It's terrible. Take the little buttons out. This one happens to be a different color than all the rest of the Tack Tick system. So I'm changing this one out for this one so that it matches. And then all the ones in the cockpit will be the same. So I'm going to end up with this one. But what I need to do is, of course, just like the other one, got to get this off. So this one's a little bit different because as you pry on it, there is a gasket right in here, a little foam gasket. The little foam gasket is gluing it together and keeping water out. So, I mean, it's a useful thing. You don't want to destroy it. And I've been just basically inching them off. I put the screwdriver in there to apply a little pressure and then pry this thing up as evenly as possible until the catch is over the tooth. It's easy to accidentally pop them back over it, so you might have to do this a couple times before you'll actually get it off. This one, which was that light tan colored one, came out of this case, is different than the other ones. All of its batteries are like part of it, but you need to unsolder these wires from the solar panel. Those are what is this one right here and this one right here. They go through the plastic. I'm trying to show you this here. They go through the plastic right there, and they put some sealant in there, so you have to get that panel out of there so that you can put it through the equivalent holes on the other one. This one, this tab broke off, so so kind of a bummer, but yep, slightly different. And we'll have to see. I don't think the batteries are really any different than the other one, but it is a different unit. What we'll do is we're going to heat up the solder right here and just basically pull that wire off, and then do the same thing right here. Just going to heat up that tab right there and pop the little wire off, and then we can just pull it through very carefully. You don't want to break the solar panel. by the way. Gotta be careful on that too. You want to put this little thing in there. Goes around the ring. Clean up the inside if you need to. Try to pull your wires up like this. Get them out of the way. Just set it down in there. Like that. And you can just take this back up like so. It should just stick right back on there. I had no problem with any of them on that. Now, and then it's just resoldering these back on. I might change how they are routed because they did go into these batteries before. All right. I'm going to use needle nose, a little bit of solder wick. I'm going to use needle nose, a little bit of solder wick. Basically, once this gets hot, almost 700. There we go. Almost 8. Now I'm going to suck this old solder glob off. Just like this. Pull it right up into the wick. And the reason being is that you'd rather have fresh solder in there. I would anyway. A little bit of flux in it. Right. I did this with all of them. The only difference is that most of them battery pack these as part of the. It's like a secondary battery, but otherwise they seem to be pretty much the same. Oops. Just melted right there a little teeny bit. Bumped against it with the iron. Watch out for that. Yep, there we go. And that does not make contact with anything else. So we're good. Now, back over here, turn this iron off. Here's your back panel. Make sure your gasket is completing the whole circle. This one kind of got a little bit stretched. It's very sticky still. It's just a little bit bigger than it originally was by a hair. Up in there, speak of the devil, is a hair. Alright. Now, just take this and set it right on here. Of course, you're going to guide these tabs around to the corners. This one has extra tabs. Oh wait, before I get in there too far. Just snapped in, was at the top. It was. Actually want to get, where'd it go? Don't forget to do this. You might end up with steam. There was one point or another desiccant pack in there. Not nearly as huge as any of these. This is going to be the one inside the boat. So I found this little desiccant pack. This is what it looks like. You get one of these in every one of them, and it absorbs a little bit of moisture while you're going. You want that inside of there before you put this back on. Line up your positive and negative and just snap it down on there. It will self-seal all the way around for the most part, although I kind of like to take this little teeny screwdriver and go in and make sure that these clips over here down inside of these are actually getting on the clip, because you can't get to them, they're underneath this solar panel. Then you take your screen, which we were going to use this one, I believe is correct. And this one's the light gray, this one's lighter gray. Let's see which one looks better. About the same. We'll go with this one. Do I see anything else that's different? Might make one of them better than the other one of them. This one's got a little nick at the bottom. That's about it. This one's got a little nick over here. It's irrelevant. Alright, so you got the buttons in there. Make sure you got a nut right here, which I almost just left out because it fell off right over there. Take that little nut, set it in there, like that, and what am I doing? Cut that out. Let's hope. There's not really anything holding that little nut in place. It's just barely even held onto the thing. There we go. Make sure all those little tabs are going over their little, or these little clips are going over their tabs. Put on your little nut. You might put something on there to hold it if it's really loose, but most of them stay on pretty easy. And when they come down, it's held on by that little thing right there. So then just drop it in there. Clip in your little clips on the sides. Like that. This one's got a broken thing. There you go. Which is why I didn't use this one, because it's completely snapped off too. Alright, so I'll take this one back out. Get to re-see this open. That, right there, and it's out. Alright, so this one is garbage. Arrow down on the out. Flip this one over so it's the way the factory did it. And again, wait, do we still have the nut? Yes, we do. There we go. All right. That's better. There we go. So now there's this little teeny nylon nut. Took off right here. And it does tighten it onto a little piece of that sealant tape on the inside, which is, I'll show you here and again in a second. Get this on there. Turn it upside down. So this nut's a pain in the butt. Not all of them. This one's probably the worst one yet. There we go, got it on there. Once it's on there, you can kind of take a screwdriver and spin it on a little bit. Get it down to where it's stiffening at least. And just tighten it with this. Keep in mind this is a nylon nut, so you can't tighten it too tight or it'll just strip out. It's just basically pulling this plug down into that sealing tape on the inside. And there we go. Now, one of these. And this is the only purpose for that nut in there. The bottom. Just to hold this backing mounting plate thing on. That's it. This one came with a little cover for the power. Quiet scuff. Yeah, just have this one left, and it had a good lens on it. It just was in a crappy case. And it had a crack in the inside lens, but that's the way the boss bounces. Well, it's going to be Wednesday before we get Ethernet cables, or not cables, Ethernet, yeah, and not ends, modules. And
well, we don't even have. Do we ever get the PO for this stuff anyway?
Yes. From what I've been told, we did get the PO. So that part's at least good. But, and it's for 48 total. I guess he paid half. So we should be okay on that. But the 9800 order that he built, that's 3 or 4 units. Do you have that one? It's for Oman, or is it just 4 cards? Maybe it's just.
Like we might have another. Dia box.
All right, now I left that nut out of the first one, and so I'm probably going to take it apart and put it in there. Though I don't really have a screw for that specific one, I just have an extra nut. Now it'll be these 3 out in the cockpit. And this one, which is a slightly different case, will be inside the boat at the nav station. There you go. How to change out a crazed lens for one that isn't. And I hope I got all of that in there. I think I got it all. compensate for your reversals.
Yeah, well, you know. You're the one that's dyslexic, not me here.
Yes, that's it.